you, Ronan. Help yourself. Thank you.
Missed you, Gordon. How are you? Good to see you. All right. Mr. Baker.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well, man. First one's in the room here today. All right. Okay. Morning.
Hi.
Hey, Jeff. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Oh, go ahead. Speak up a little
This
louder.
is on. Yeah.
Yeah. List them all. I know I'm going to.
You got your opportunity, sir. I'm right there with you.
I know. So I asked Mr. Baker, we have all these signs out here along the road there. Is it okay if I put one out there for no data centers? He said, absolutely. Just keep it 25 feet from the door.
We also need to know on 4 and 5. That's all yes on 4. I like that we could be legal tomorrow.
Ladies, good morning. Good morning. Sign up.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
You know,
We're here. We're
I'm
sitting.
glad I can be here, but it's a have to be here.
Right. Your part-time job with no full-time pay.
Gee, I'd be happy with even minimum wage pay for this. Okay. Yeah. Patricia just called. She said, I'm on my way, but can you sign
I still haven't received my check from the Chinese government.
I'm waiting.
Right. It's in the mail.
All sorts of people owe me
I
checks.
called them and said it's in the mail. So
Yeah, that we're influenced by that.
yes. Well, no, we're paid.
Well, totally
We're
reject.
paid.
And
And it could go with my tariffs check and my Doge check.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
I'm still waiting for those two.
There's multiple checks that are in
They're
the mail.
in the ball.
They're in the mail.
Yeah.
Okay, accept payment via that.
Let's see.
Are we allowed to only sign up to talk on one?
Heck no.
Okay.
I'm writing every one of them but 2.
Okay.
Items and agenda items.
So I'll be in
all
there.
of us get to go on vacation for a month.
Hi, Gene. How are you? That wasn't the plan.
What do you
That
mean?
was supposed to be about 10 days. We can already have so much fun. How can we change your flight? I'm like, oh, we can. It won't cost us anything. I'm like, well, we'll sit. So, turned into a little adventure. How are you?
Good.
What's going on?
So was that grouper that you, that big fish?
Red grouper was the one, and then we caught a couple red snapper, and then the long skinny guy was a bodega.
Some of those you have to throw back.
Boniga's kind kind of that, that's really, yeah, yeah, it's a big one string. I was talking to the captain, so we usually chunk it into pieces and use a shark. And then another captain was talking to us.
Spring wine.
I've had it before in Singapore, he started taking the soap and put it on the time for us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. He said that the carrot ones are actually, you immediately have to leave it, open it and get it heavy ice, because otherwise it's a very strong flavor. So he's like, if you don't mind, he goes, I'll keep it in shark.
Okay.
Shark. So yeah, the big red grouper, that was what I was fun with that. But actually, probably a small one. These guys are local companies, probably about pushing 40 tons.
So do they have a size restriction on that?
Yep, yeah, there's a minimum, and you're allowed two per day. So there has to be a minimum. So you're
I got 30.
guys,
I would
catch
catch
another one,
them.
that's right back. So we caught some after the go right back on the phone. So it was fun though. It was a blast. It's in place. Yes, sir. But now we're back. I'm ready. You gonna sign up? Huh? You gonna sign up? I have nothing to say. Nothing to say?
Morning. Okay, do you know the order numbers? The ones that's here.
He's gonna do this.
2026 0198
You did sign up for that. That's gonna put lab. Yeah, like La Batty. Tell my sister. When I first told her my new address, she's like, you live in La Batty?
This doesn't seem to be, there's no balance. It's not two ways.
You never phone ours.
I need to talk to them. Really?
You have 6 for 6. 6 for 6.
Two.
Well, Tim said that you're gonna do reviews. That's what I think I would go from.
I get it. Hey lady, how are you? Good to see you.
Your
What's going on?
soul.
Festus Fierce, I like it. I like the logo. What's on? Yeah, accountability, community, transparency. It looks good on you, lady. It's in like a red. Sign up. We know you got something to say.
Oh.
Never forget. You get 3 over 2.
One at bat.
One.
That's what they told you. They told you last week. You only get one at bat. You get 3 minutes.
I get a double today because there's on agenda item and.
I
Oh.
can
Can you show me what each agenda item is? Agenda item?
Oh, we're good.
Might be 3 hours. I put whatever for this.
Look at you. Poor,
This
seems
brain has
like
had
I've missed you.
This brain has had some time to rest and catch up.
Anyways,
I was getting foggy there for a little while.
okay.
It's getting crazy because of the time.
Your brain never stops.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I don't care. No matter where you go, what you do.
I was wheeling and turning.
I was telling them.
Oh, yeah. Right. So, it did say, you know a lot about it. So I've actually known him since he was a girl. Him being. To try to clear his family name.
started to make sense after I read every. Yep.
Morning.
For a reason. Nope.
Yeah.
Big difference. Huge difference. There's no way to survive this. There's no way. You can go to. I need my car.
Just to prove that you're a citizen. That's all you gotta do.
That's what I do.
Not a big deal. Really not a big deal. So you need to understand your love.
Yeah, dude. How are you? Good to see you. How are your travels?
Oh, I
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good to get.
When's your next trip?
It's an adventure, see you live.
I don't know what to do with my dudes. Huh? You know, Oregon.
Are there two sign ins for agenda items and non-agenda items?
You can spend some time. We were there a little over 2 weeks.
I just went like this. Because it's becoming the non-agenda.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a first.
Okay.
I know, that was a good time. We had a blast.
Oh.
I did.
Hey, you. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, you're stacked.
Of this the souvenir.
Oh, no, these are gonna turn into like kitty like black.
You got a birthday?
Spring line. Spring line. Yeah, they would be.
They're pretty cheap.
That'll be a good idea.
What's up, Jeff?
That's okay.
Free. Yeah.
No, we're doing it in the back.
Oh, okay.
There are two Oh.
Hey.
You must. We used to pretend we had a house. We didn't, never did. We had PO box, we had Texas, so we decided we lived in the PO box. Then eventually we got the addresses. Pacific.
You want on top of the list, or well, you get three, two or three opportunities.
First couple days we were down there with the professional gym, most of the folks that push it right into it.
Okay.
So it's pretty busy. We did our charts early in the stress. As well as the one that you're going to get. We're done. So my friends, they go down there to just be kind of go.
Breaking the law.
I know I am, that's my name. Oh, this is, they're both, they're both. They're all the same, they're all the same. Oh, yeah. You're all the same. All the same, it's all the same, no, it's all the same. Oh, it's all the same, it's all the same.
Good morning. Call this meeting to order. We will begin by reciting the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join us this morning for a moment of silence. Thank you. We're going to begin with a number of service recognition for public service for the county. Get these in order here. We will recognize each individual, then ultimately have you come up and we will present you with a certificate of award and snap a photo. The first that we have today is Roger Englehart with 5 years of public service for the county. Roger? Roger's not here, but give him a round of applause anyway. Next is Deputy Russell Avery, 5 years with the county. We have Deputy Robert Savage, 5 years with the county.
We do got a large-scale training operation going on today, and we have several deputies that couldn't attend because of that. So just so you're aware, Commissioner, they're on task.
They're working. They're diligently at work. And next is Lieutenant Jason Wegeman, 25 years of public service with the county. So big round of applause there. And finally, Janice Cruz, 40 years public service. Janice.
She's also at what we got going on, but just to piggyback off of Janice Cruz, she's actually got over 50 years of law enforcement. She worked for Union PD before she come to us, so her heart's still in it. She does good work, so we appreciate
That's amazing, yeah. Appreciate that, yeah. Grab, obviously, with the Deputy Avery, we'll grab a photo with you. And
representative of
Can we move? It's down. I think we just get off to the side here, huh?
Who's coming? Oh, nice. Give a big round of applause. Janice Cruz, everybody.
Well, explain to everybody you have 50 years of law enforcement experience back before they carried guns and just boas and stuff. We really appreciate this lady. Dennis, come on up for your photograph there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I've held the badge for 54, but this time around I've been working for the county 40.
54 years, I stand corrected.
The original Rough Rider.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Break them up into two.
oh, these are agenda items.
Come on, man.
Okay. We have a number of minutes that we need to approve from the July 21 and 21 working session, the 23rd workshop, and the 23rd working session.
I make a motion, we approve July 21, 26, July 21st working session, July 23rd workshop, and July 23rd working session.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. We approve the minutes from the workshops and the working sessions. We have a number of comments, requested comments on the agenda items this morning. Hopefully I'll work my way through them in the process. Again, remind everyone we have a time limit, as there are a number of folks. I will set the timer. I will give you a 15-second wrap on the counter, and we will go from there. I'm trying to get to my time clock.
That's right there. The hourglass.
I don't know how long that hourglass is.
What's that?
I said I'm not sure how long that hourglass is. Is it a 3-minute hourglass? Well, I got my timer going. First is the Corbett Shannon. You're first.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This is in regard to Commission Order 2026-198. So, gentlemen, this is your answer to overwhelming public opposition, is to spend $50,000 of taxpayer money on Steve Etcher. This is after you've refused town halls, limited public comment, and after citizens have spent countless hours researching these projects because this commission wouldn't. Now you want to pay someone to tell you what you should have already learned yourselves. Let's stop pretending this is about finding the truth. Steve Etcher has spent his career promoting economic development. The people of Franklin County have zero confidence that he was selected to review this project without bias. If you wanted an independent environmental or public health review, you'd hire an environmental scientist or a public health expert. Instead, you're considering a pro-data center shill consultant. The conflict isn't subtle, it's obvious. The bigger question here is, who found Steve Etcher? Was this the commission's idea? Or was he recommended by Governor Kehoe? Was he recommended by the developers or by your lobbyists? Or did you simply go shopping until you found someone whose resume fit the conclusion you were already hoping to reach? Because that's exactly what this looks like, gentlemen, period. Not an independent review, a taxpayer-funded rubber stamp. And here's the insult. While roads crumble, emergency services are stretched, and residents are begging for answers about water, electricity, traffic, toxic landfills, and public safety, you're preparing to spend $50,000 on a consultant whose opinion many people will question before he ever walks through that door. You don't need another consultant. You need the courage to admit you never did your homework. We did. The citizens did. Thousands of residents have spoken, but the only people still pretending they need more information is you. If you hire Steve Etcher, don't expect any applause. This is nothing more than a $50,000 taxpayer-funded debacle and an attempt to buy credibility for a decision that you should have made by listening to the people instead of someone willing to bless what you've wanted all along. Vote no on Commission Order 2026-198. Thank you.
Next, we have Jeff Hayden.
Back at my part-time job. So I was really wanting to speak on most of your commission orders that you're going through today, because I don't understand why all the rubber stamping to all these programs. You have several here that are grants. That's tax money from where? Does that come from the state, the federal government, or from us? These programs, you got Youth Alcohol Enforcement Campaign. There's laws already on the books to cover all these programs. Hazardous moving vehicles, dedicated impaired driving enforcement campaign. Good grief. How much money are these grants worth? No comment? This is for comment, isn't it? Are we going to get some sort of question and answer kind of deal going? Memorandum of Understanding. Really? So I agree with Corbett on this Steve Etcher, the Springline Advisory. Really? We're going to spend our money on something that we've already discussed? We did the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of this meeting. Where's your allegiance?
to the Republic? Because that's the people. The people have spoken to you on this rezoning, data centers, and we've told you time and time again, no. We don't want our farmland turned into industrial. Apparently you have one question. How much money are we going to make so that we can put it out there to all these different programs? Unbelievable. Respect. Try and earn it.
Thank you for your comments. Next is Berta Carpenter.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
I understand that Steve Etcher with Mark Snelson, now Springline, has worked with Warrenton, Montgomery County, and Festus to evaluate the financial implication of data centers in their communities. I also understand that he may also be engaged with Nottoway County and possibly other areas. Before Franklin County relies on similar projections, I believe it's important to ask a basic accountability question. Have any communities that receive this kind of advice actually begun receiving data center tax revenue? And if so, is that revenue anywhere close to those projected? I recognize that Franklin County may have limited ability to stop tax incentives granted by the state level. However, the county should not voluntarily give away any local revenue unless there is clear, enforceable, and measurable value returned to the residents. For that reason, I urge that the commission to negotiate a community benefits agreement before any local support, approval, or cooperation is offered. At a minimum, that agreement should require benefits that are directly serve Franklin County residents, such as maybe expanding reliable broadband access to underserved areas where satellite internet is the only option. It should also require escrowed funds or binding financial protections to address construction-related harm, compensate affected residents when appropriate, and rebuild roads that are likely to be damaged by heavy truck traffic during construction. The county should also appoint a resident advisory group so that people who live near the proposed sites have a formal role in identifying impact, reviewing protections, and holding developers accountable. Jonathan Ross, founder and CEO of Grok, has publicly warned that there are many proposed data centers that are being built into oversupply. That raises an important question for Franklin County. If the county does not yet know who will occupy the proposed facilities, how can it evaluate whether the projects are financially sound or speculative? And if occupancy is delayed, reduced, or never materialized as projected, how long would residents have to wait before seeing meaningful tax revenue, if they see any at all?
Thank you for your comments. Next, Patricia Schuba. Did I get that right? Your name, Schuba?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Right pronouncement? Thank you.
Absolutely. Good morning, Commissioners, and good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Everybody from Franklin County. This is an impressive group of individuals here this morning, and I think it's because people are concerned about this issue, about the data centers, but namely now that you're signing a contract with a known individual who's worked at making sure data centers come to fruition in counties all around Franklin County. People can look up the coverage in the media of his role in Festus and Montgomery, Warren County, other parts of the state even. Questions that I have more questions than I guess actual comments this morning, but how did we go about making the decision to give him a contract for $50,000 of taxpayer money to advise how to negotiate with a data center? Because that's my understanding of his role. First, I thought it was to look at the economic benefits, like he had some background in economics or in negotiations of that sort. And it appears that his role is more to smooth the way for data centers and for our county to potentially ask for what we want from the data centers and the data centers to say what they're willing to do for us. And to me, as it's been stated already, that $50,000 would be better spent at doing environmental studies, hiring real experts in economics to advise on anything that may come after you actually sign the zoning and the regulations that we went through all the hearings about. So that's not even happened yet. So I would urge you to vote no this morning and to take the time to go through those steps. I would also, a question I do have about the contract with him, because I looked at the contract he had with Warren County. That was over an extended period of time. And I didn't see any details about what you're signing this morning. Is it for these two data centers? Is it for a given period of time? Is it a definite $50,000 or is it going to be more than that? I think those are questions that the public deserves to hear the answers to. So thank you very much. Please say no this morning.
Thank you for your comments. Jennifer Moody.
Good morning, commissioners, and
Morning.
thank you for this opportunity. My name is Dr. Jennifer Moody. I have a PhD in ecology and evolutionary biology. And as a scientist, I appreciate the need for wanting information before making a decision, and that this understanding the taxes. Paul Overschmidt, you spoke with us around Berta's table about needing to understand how the taxes would work, and I think that's a great thing. I do have concerns shared by other citizens about the bias that this particular contractor would bring of wanting to push data centers. I have concerns about if you are going to be talking to him about incentives that the community wants, where is the conversation with us, the community, who you have been put into this position to represent us? And we've, as far as I know, have had none of those conversations of what is it that we would want if we're going to have these data centers, what's a good return for us. And I also, as a scientist, understand that we need a lot of information. And if you want to be truly unbiased in this decision, which is something I've heard from you guys through this whole now almost 9-month process, 8-month process, we need the environmental impact study. We need the water study. We need the infrastructure study. We need the health study. We need the heat study, the sound study. We need to have all of that information to make a truly well-informed, unbiased decision that will protect the citizens of Franklin County from harm, which is what I view your job to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Jenny Voss.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Last Thursday, the Missourian published an article about Springline Advisory after the commission workshop. As of this morning, there were 148 comments from this article that was on Facebook. You say that we aren't hearing enough people. I'm going to start reading some comments that people have posted on Facebook. They didn't want to pay the money to put it on ballot, to allow us to vote, but yet they'll pay the money to pay for this. Imagine being the hired consultant and over half the town is currently sharpening their pitchforks. That's one brave soul. Shouldn't matter what the consultant reports back with us, put it on the ballot and vote for it. So putting the issue on a ballot is too expensive, but hiring a firm for $50,000 is reasonable. Let me guess, the consultant will just happen to be an attorney whose specialty is about data centers getting built. Put it on the ballot for people to vote. That's not leadership. It's taxpayer-funded laziness with an accountability problem. Our tax dollars, and each step level more tax dollars. Why not study the effects? They get tax reductions and we get tax increase. They get reductions for electricity, we get electricity price increase. They get water and we get price increase and told to cut back. How is the grid going to handle it when already people are having rolling outages? Property tax increase and surrounding home values still go up and no one will buy them. How about the roads being around it being widened, and we'll take partial properties to widen and put in big power lines through our properties for this. How this affects wildlife and livestock. Where is the chemical in the water for the closed loop going? Because even with closed loop, they have a drain to keep it running smoothly, and for a whole lot of other factors that will affect citizens. Another person says, so our opinion doesn't matter. They gotta hire someone. Our tax dollars at work. Think we need new commissioners in Franklin County that will listen to voters instead of lining their pockets. Anybody else? Seems like that's the commissioner's job. Why not we the people? A consultant from where? You know how this works. We don't need a consultant to vote them out. So not only basically are they so weak that they can't make a common sense decision, but then they want to take our tax dollars to pay some other group, the entity, to basically help them make the decision to spend our money to give them excuses of why they don't do what's right and basically waste our tax dollars. Remember to vote them out when the center goes in. Let we the people hire our consultant to help them. You represent us. This way they can blame the consultants. Or just listen to the citizens, save the money, and just say no to data centers. These are all on Facebook. You can look at them on the Missourian. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. John Rose.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I just want to say that I'm against the hiring of Pro Data Centers, Springline consulting firm. We the people funding $50,000 for a study on tax possibilities is horrendous, as you should be doing health and environmental studies like done previously on a bridge being built in Franklin County. Make this paid by the developers. The study is a waste of money on conjectured figures, especially from a pro data center firm, not bipartisan. Springline Advisory is a pro data centers, and they are biased. Is Springdale Advisory under contract to represent other data centers' interests? Will this study clearly show the total taxes that would normally be owed, the amount forgiven through abatements, and the tax amount actually received, if any? When the AI bubble bursts, because they overbuild hyper data centers, there will be no tax generated, just debt and ruined rural land. Voters and residents, we the people alike, don't appreciate biased private interest firms getting paid by the residents to play in our country, our county's planning. Please vote no against this. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Darlene Hogue.
I agree with everyone that's already just talked to you this morning, but I also want to have my voice in saying that I'm opposed to the contract with Springline, especially with Steve Kletcher. They are an unlicensed accounting investment consultant firm based out of Dallas, Texas. Why can't we find one in our own state? Mr. Etcher is very deeply roots with data centers, specifically in his biased support of them. He is making a lot of money, though, standing with corporations' interest over the public's well-being, despite the strong public opposition on 4 data centers proposals, probably more by now, from Warrenton to Festus to Montgomery County, of Nottoway County, and now to Franklin County. Many questions of my own have already been asked, so I won't repeat those. But were the bids submitted from independent, expert, licensed firms for this tax? Or is Governor Kehoe growing impatient and just wants to openly condemn the entire state of Missouri with unnumberable, massive hyperscale data centers? Will it show? Will Springline's reports show where the money is actually being received and where is it being sent to? Jefferson City or to each county in Missouri in which these data centers are constructed? How much will Franklin County taxpayers be funding for this work in the very end? I say not on my tax dollars. I feel Missouri's future is bleak at best if our leadership at our local government do not take a stand with the county's constituents and say no to these data centers. They're massive and unhealthy to our environmental disasters in our that are entering in our state. I wish our governor would take a stand like New York, banning hyperscale data centers. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Twyla Ashworth.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So you want to sign a contract for Steve Etcher of Springline to conduct a tax projection study for both data centers. The price tag of $50,000 plus $420 per hour after 60 hours of work certainly is lucrative for Mr. Etcher, given the fact he has made the same deals with Nottoway County, Montgomery County, Festus, Warrenton, and others. This is just phase one. There will be a phase two incentive structuring and authorization study at an even higher price tag. My point is this. All this money you intend to spend for both these studies from Springline would be more worthwhile and beneficial cleaning up the toxic landfill problem and spending the money on that. Yet you say you don't have the money to take care of the toxic chemical leakage going on into the Merrimack River and on Mr. Roberts' property. You can also use the $50,000 for our environmental impact studies, which we have been requesting for months. I'd also like to know if or why not these studies were not put out to bid. Why was not a company chosen from Missouri? I find it odd that Springline did all the studies for Warrenton, Festus, Montgomery County, and Nottoway County. Does Springline have a special contract with the state? Mr. Schatz, one of your billboards says, Dave Schatz believes county government should tighten its belt the same way your family has to. Hold the line on spending, fight inflation, and control the cost of living. You can start holding the line on spending by not signing a contract with Springline. Additionally, Springline is not a Missouri-based company. Springline is based in Dallas, Texas. They have no allegiance or loyalty for the safety and welfare of Missouri residents. I oppose the signing of this contract.
Thank you for your comments. Nancy Watson.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
At the Commissioners' Workshop on July 23rd, many questions were raised about items J and K, Commission Order 2026, 198, and 199. I'm asking you to answer these questions before you vote, and I have 9. Did Springline Advisory offer their services to Franklin County? Or did you approach them for consulting services? What other companies, if any, were given the opportunity to bid? Why is the county considering approving and signing a $50,000 contract for consulting services prior to making a decision on the 4 hearings? Number 4, has any money been spent to date on non-biased independent studies concerning data centers? Or is it essential to secure advice only on the monetary aspects and expected financial gains from data centers, and not on the potential negative effects on the lives of the residents? Number 5, is the study from Springline Advisory
necessary for you to make a decision on the hearings? Number 6, has Mr. Etcher represented or worked for A, either Beltline or Provident? Number 7, B, the tech companies operating the data centers, and if so, who? Or number 8, item C, has he represented any regional development groups promoting data centers, and if so, who? Would you tell the residents, number 9, would you tell the residents of Franklin County who recommended Springline Advisory? I know it would be hard for you to answer all these questions without a copy, so I have made a copy of my questions, and I would like to give you, through Amanda, copies of my questions now. Thank you for hearing my questions and concerns.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thomas Crouch.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so guy, we really are paying the fox to guard the hen house, aren't we? So Trinity Hunt Partners, private investment firm, owns Springline. Springline signed contract with Marks Nelson. So honestly, $50,000 for a non-biased assessment, I don't believe it. Tell me there ain't someone else that we could pick for this. So like we can't spend $50,000 somewhere else within the county. I mean, 911 systems could use it, communications. I mean, generally landfill could use it. I'm sure the clerk's office could use it. Roads could use it. So do we even know which funds this $50,000 is coming out of? Do we know that yet? It's just a simple yes or no. You know, then on top of that stuff too. So like someone said, this is only phase 1. Phase 1, $833 per hour plus $420 an hour after 60. God, in the wrong business here. Yep. Plus they also getting about a quarter or 1/20th of the bondings and that with the data centers too. So not to exceed 125, right? Definitely don't seem like they're non-biased at all. So honestly, after doing some research on them, definitely sounds like they are a third party or subsidiary or sub company sales firm. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable with my tax dollars paying for this. I don't know. Anyone else here? No. I mean, look on Missouri and all the reviews on there. There's tons of people that don't even show up to these meetings. They all say the same thing. So honestly, vote no on this. Let's find someone better, or let's at least reevaluate the terms of this contract. Yeah, I'll save the other stuff for the next one. So like I said, quote of the day, paying the fox guard the hen house. We don't want that.
Thank you for your comments. Rachel Luella.
Oh, boy, good morning. First, I do want to thank you for considering outside help. However, I think this is the wrong way to go about it, and I feel like we're already pigeonholed, and it's going to be full of closed-door meetings. On page 3, quote, Springline will meet with local officials in closed sessions with the advice and consent of their attorney. And looking through the whole contract, I believe Mr. Piantek really should be in the meeting right now and hearing from us, because he's going to be in those closed door sessions, and I think he needs to hear what we have to say. I'm also surprised at the workshop last week, our auditor came and stood up for us, for our community. It does seem like the commissioners that you were surprised at the $7,000 or $9,000 from the expedited transcripts, even just from the May meeting at ECC. At first, it was just 25,000. We were all reassured in the audience it was just 25,000, and then she stood up and read the fine print. No, it's per data center. No, it's 50,000. Where is this money coming from? This just seems like a bad deal. It's kind of eye-opening. Whenever I open up my folder, one side I have this 12-month interim stay from the city of Pacific, and on the other side is the fight for the county. It's just mind-blowing when a government listens to you or when they don't. And we are not being listened to, as you can see from the crowd. Being awarded as a single source is wrong. I don't believe they're the only ones in this entire state that can do the work. Ms. Bowers had a list at last week's workshop of other options, and only one was shot down because the company has a history of working with the developers. So too does Cochrane, that we just hired, the engineering firm, but the county is still working and awarding bids to this firm. Cochrane worked with Beltlines with their plans and applications for the city of Pacific. The auditor, yeah, we need to take a closer look, 25 versus 50,000. I really think that we need to deny this and open up the bidding process. If there are no other applicants, then maybe consider this one, but please prove that this is the only person in the state that can do this work. I feel like there is just a systemic lack of communication from our commissioners on a multitude of issues. The planning and zoning director last week had multiple attempts at meetings, 3 issues, and she was looking for a 4th meeting, just being ignored. The auditor not knowing where this is coming from, just landing on her desk. Myself, Mr. Elkins, last week, the county clerk not being informed of public speaking being taken away from, the public in June. I just feel like there needs to be more communication, and if you are working on something, just communicate that you are, or just communication. So how is it that the commission heard this recommendation about this firm, but messages from our community and from other government employees are being ignored? How is that? Things just have to change. Yeah, so if we're considering 50,000, where is that 7,000 coming for the transcripts from the May meeting? Please vote no. Open it up for outside bids. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Millie Ryan.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For the record, I oppose all zoning changes to allow heavy industrial development in our agricultural land. A good judge does not hire an expert witness for just one side of the case. Fairness means looking at both sides of the coin before you rule. So why is the commission only paying for a study on tax impact and not an environmental impact? Hiring Springline Advisory gives the appearance of due diligence, but it's just a smokescreen. And it looks very much like a way to strengthen the case that you are already leaning towards, not to test it. Is this firm being brought in to independently scrutinize the deal or to help structure how it gets sold to the public? If this commission is serious about representing and protecting the people who live here, not the developers who don't, then the study that matters isn't a tax projection. It's an environmental one, done by experts with no financial stake in the outcome, paid for by developers before a single vote is taken. Please use this money wisely for something else and say no to this. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I have a number of folks that did not put what their topic was. Linda Carr, are you speaking on agenda items or non-agenda items? Okay, well, you didn't write it down, so you can come up, Linda Carr. Kevin Ryan, let me ask Kevin Ryan, did you non-agenda or agenda items?
Both.
Then
I would guess Springline for sure.
you wrote down data centers,
Yeah.
so.
General, yeah, it's a general topic.
Okay, Linda Carr.
I wanted both topics too, and I just put data centers down, but I consider Springline part of the data center problem.
I'm not sure, what's your name?
Karen Foos.
Karen?
Yeah. Me too.
Linda Carr, you come forward.
Okay. One of you commissioners stated at Thursday meeting, you received the proposal from Springline, Steve Etcher, on July 9th. Then it was stated that you looked at it Thursday morning. And this is the company that was highly recommended to you. I and the people of this county have a right to transparency, please. Who recommended the company to you, or did you just pick them? Mr. Pointek's not here, so who recommended it to you? And then we have, if it's Jefferson City Elites, or was it the developers, or was it one of the AI biased people? This is definitely an AI biased company. Reality, you're leaning towards spending $25,000 per project, totaling $50,000 for the company, who provides a projected tax model for 2 proposed sites for AI data centers for land sites that have not even been rezoned from agriculture and farmland to heavy industrial. And all this company is going to provide is a projection of fabricated numbers with a disclaimer at the bottom indicating that the figures are merely conjectures. Now, if this company's done this before, we shouldn't have any secretive people. Highly recommended. This company should know how and where to get their calculations and sources a lot faster than $50,000, $420 an hour. They didn't charge that with other counties, did they? Have you checked that out? And why would you choose this company? We've been given names from law firms and professional people and recommendations, and you've pretty much ignored them. So again, $50,000 for no guarantees, just for conjectures. Conjecture, the meaning. It means a judgment based on inconclusive or incomplete evidence, guesswork, an opinion formed on defective or presumptive evidence. That's Webster's, okay? $50,000 on inconclusive guesswork? Really? We have an elected Franklin County auditor. Does the auditor show that there is $50,000 of our tax money available to throw away on a proposal of conjectures? Just as you've done in the past, making 2 meaningless, expensive trips to Iowa and Virginia, which in reality and logically gave no one any knowledge pertaining to our county's situation, which is very different. It was just a big show. All that money of this $50,000 are fabricated numbers. It wouldn't have cost that much just to put this whole mess on the ballot and vote. Let the people vote. But no, you don't want the people to vote because you know they're going to vote no. It's my tax money. And it's all the tax money of the 75,000 plus taxpayers that you find so easy to spend. Please reconsider. Think about us first. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Dana Bowers.
Where's my coffee, Dave?
I've got your
Chat
text this
Thursday.
morning.
Hey,
I don't know where you get a brownie coffee at. I'm not sure where you buy that at. So
Scooters. Done.
Scooters, okay.
Okay, so first one I'm going to say a resoundingly no on 2026, 198, and 199, and I think everybody behind me agrees. Thank you. Okay, Etchert. This question has been asked numerous times. Mark, where's Mark? We
In
need
court.
questions answered by Mark unless he's given you guys the answers. Who recommended this company? Where did he come from? Because we asked it in the workshop and nobody responded. So he came highly recommended according to Mark, but no response. Okay. We want to know that. I mean, if you're going to spend our tax dollars, we deserve to know where he was recommended from. This company is based out of Texas. They have a Delaware LLC with a port authority. It's just shady. It's straight shadiness. You guys know this. Just like numerous people before. Thank you, Jenny, for stealing my comments. Reading comments off of a Facebook post the Missourian made. We've had conversations about how you want more people to show up. You want to hear what other people have to say other than just the normal. There's Mark. Yay. There's comments from people all over social media sites, comments on the Missourians post that they made. Like, there are a multitude of people that are totally against spending $50,000 of our money. This is our taxpayer money. We have asked you multitude of times to put this on the ballot. Your response was, Dave, it's too expensive to do that. The county can't afford to do that. Well, if the county can afford to waste our money to have a biased firm come in and give conjectured figures, We deserve to have our money spent where we want it spent. And we would rather spend the money to put it on the ballot and let the people vote. So Ken, you can get the answer to your question of how many people are actually against or for this project or projects. It would give you the answer to that. So why are you wasting 50 grand plus $420 an hour? I really am in the wrong business. I really am. Why? Yeah. Mark, who recommended these people? No, just, I mean, be respectful enough. We're asking questions. I know I got 10 seconds left. I got my clock here. Can you please answer that question for the people? We're all asking the same question. Where did they come highly recommended from? Be respectful of the fact that we're being respectful of showing up to the meeting and asking a question. We just want respect with a return answer.
Thank you, Dana. Your time has expired.
Zero respect.
Next is Janine Kreider. Which?
I was confused when I was
Trying to figure out where you,
Can we switch up real quick, Jeannie?
What's the question?
Could I go before her? I'm sorry, I gotta get back to work. Is that okay?
I'm trying to figure out, you guys are out of order.
They want to switch out.
That's fine. I'm just
sorry.
looking at where you're trying to figure out where you signed up at.
There are so many papers going around.
Twyla, I know who's, but I can't find her name on the.
I can.
Oh, here it is. I do have it. Yep.
Okay.
No.
Nope.
You're.
Yep. Good. Okay. I'm sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
asking the commission not to approve the spring line agreement at this time. The contract requires the county to pay $25,000 per data center, which means 50 grand for the two projects currently being considered. At the workshop, we were unable to identify which county fund would be used to pay the bill. The agreement also goes beyond an independent tax analysis. It includes a second phase in which the same firm may help structure the incentive bond transactions and receive additional fees if the project was moved forward. Before the public money is committed, I believe that the county should seek proposals from qualified firms, clearly identify the funding source, explain whether developer reimbursement is guaranteed, and make sure all calculations and assumptions will be available for public review. This is not a small expense or a routine decision. It could influence major tax incentive decisions or multi-billion-dollar projects. Taking additional time to compare options and protect taxpayers is responsible and reasonable. Please to delay this agreement until questions are answered. Like Shwaba said, Steve is paving the way for developers to make decisions to make the citizens happy, anyways, let me go back over to this. I was reading over the contract on Springline. This work does not include, Springline will not be involved in any public hearing or town meeting related to data centers. Development within the jurisdiction, including or not limited to any activities related to site development, zoning, entitlement, or restrictions related to proposed data center projects, and any activities or public meetings related to final site or project approvals. Springline will not be involved in meetings separately, in person, or any impacts tax jurisdictions. So they're going to talk to you, but they're not going to talk to us. We're going to pay 50 grand to them, but we can't have a say on it. Ridiculous. If we're going to pay for that, we should be able to talk to them. And if they're not in Missouri, why are we using them? Like, we're talking about economic growth, but we're not going to pay somebody in Missouri. And we're not going to do studies besides money. Which that was crazy because I had just talked to you, Dave, on the 16th or 15th. We will not be doing studies, but now we're doing money studies. Pick a study besides money, and I'll be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. For the record, Jessica, you did not sign up on this paper. No, it's not. But I mean, obviously, you did not sign up because I looked for your name. So. Janine Kreider.
I, of course, am against this $50,000 payment. Last week, I sent certified a USB stick with all the information you need. It would give you more information than an environmental impact study by two highly credentialed professionals, Tammy Clark and Kristen Megan Kelly. And I'm sure our resident PhD can affirm their credentials. I don't understand why you haven't watched it or you're willing to waste $50,000 of the taxpayers' money. I can see why you're doing it. With a double $45,000 payment made to a California company that prints out our voter cards, I can tell that this county does not care about the willy-nilly way that they spend our tax dollars. Oh, I'm sorry, not the $45,000 double payment, but plus the $10,000 deductible for the insurance for said payment. This is ridiculous. This is a biased firm that you are using, and you have been given more than enough information about the impacts that these will implement on this county. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Emily Duker, you have listed data centers. Are you talking on agenda topics?
Yes, I want to say no against the spring.
Are you, is that it? I mean, are you, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. All right, my name is Emily Duker, and I wanted to say I'm in agreement with all these people that I don't want you guys to give $50,000 to Springline. I also wanted to say some other things. When I was a teenager in the 1970s, I helped my dad and brothers design and build my house with our own hands. I'd like to be able to pass it on to the next generation. I live 50 feet from one of the proposed data centers. Why do these data centers have to be so huge? Because they affect the environment. The huge ones are 10 degrees hotter than the regular temperature. So on a day like today, instead of it being in the 90s, it's in over 100, and it could be that way all summer. How do we live like that? These, if you have small data centers, you have servers inside of a hospital or something like that, have them where they're needed. Why do we have to destroy the environment? Why do we have to destroy farmland? And these data centers also will take away jobs because they're like right now in Texas using autonomous trucks, which means driverless trucks. And they're going around the state, picking up whatever they want and dropping it where it needs to go, a store or whatever. Not a human being is in any of these trucks. And they're passing laws in all 50 states to make it nationwide. So these data centers are going to take away all the trucking jobs. They're going to take away a lot of jobs. And when I went out to California, there were autonomous cars all around me, about 10 of them. At Fairfax and Beverly, you can look this up. Where I used to work, it was CBS. Now it's autonomous cars, and you can call. You want to pick up a car, have somebody take you somewhere. You can get a autonomous car to come get you. Right now in Hollywood, I saw it. I was surrounded by them. I felt like it was Twilight Zone or something. So please do not promote these. Do not get Springline to back your position of we just want money. And it's like, well, what about us? What about our jobs? What about our environment? What about our lives? What about where I live? Nobody's going to want to live in a house that's 10 degrees hotter than 90, perpetually in 100 degrees. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Amy Thompson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm here again just to officially be on the record to ask you not to sign the contract with Springline. $50,000 for a company that seems to not care what we think seems like a lot. And just to keep beating the drum, we know it's not just the people in this room that don't want this. I've been out talking to folks, knocking on doors, going to them in Catawissa, Pacific Union. And the question I get overall would be data centers. What do you think about data centers? If you had meetings that weren't during the workday, we could find out if there were other people. More, we've seen what happens just, when you have the one and it fills the gym. It's a lot, but if you really care, there are ways, people don't want these. And to have a firm just to reconfirm what you're saying only fuels the fire. We could do ecological studies. We could do studies if we're spending our tax money on things that would actually give us some answers. This seems like it's only more division and a waste of money. So again, absolutely against paying this firm anything. And thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Travis Layton.
Good morning, guys. Regarding the Steve Etcher contract, I really don't know why anybody would do business with him. In 2024, Steve Etcher incorporated the Montgomery County Port Authority, not Mark Snelson, not Springline, him as an individual. You can go to the Missouri Secretary of State website, look up business search and look at it. His name's on there. He incorporated their port authority in 2024. Do they have a physical port authority? I don't know, but the timing sure is strange. And why is he involved in that? He doesn't live in Montgomery County. What does that have to do with being an accountant or some specialty in finance? It just really doesn't make sense. He even signed it using his Steve Etcher at iCloud.com email account. He was personally involved in that. Why does that matter? For anybody that doesn't know, the Port Authority in Missouri state law has a chapter 68 of the RSMO is about Port Authority revenue bonds. And then the Port Authority is also where the sales tax abatements come through. So there's a reason why Montgomery County needed a port authority to be incorporated to do their data center deal before they signed that contract. I mean, this isn't even hidden. They're not even hiding the corruption. It's crazy. It couldn't be more obvious that there was really something fishy going on with that guy incorporating the Montgomery County Port Authority. Okay. And then add that on top of the fact that for the Festus deal he did, the mayor signed the contract with, it was then Mark Snelson on February 27th. On March 30th, 1 month later, Festus voted to accept. It took him 30 days to negotiate a $6 billion contract. That does not make sense. That doesn't add up. Contracts that big. No, nobody had experience in that. Why they voted on that, it's just all crazy. It just all seems so fake. And I think that if you really do want to see the tax incentives to make an educated decision, I couldn't argue against you on that, but single sourcing to Steve Etcher, it's a bad idea. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Linda Carr. Linda, you already spoke. Okay.
Are you on the commission yet? I mean, on the data center?
No.
Okay, well then I'm gonna wait for the data center, right?
Ann Hayden, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I wonder how many people here are for you signing this deal with Springline? Anybody? Anybody here in favor? Just curious. I oppose it. So, is this the only company you've talked to? I mean, I thought we were a 3-bid county. Shouldn't we have somebody local do this? Wouldn't they be better suited for the laws of the state of Missouri? No comment? Of course not. I don't agree with you spending our money. We are the taxpayers. You are not listening. You work for us. Did you forget that? Kind of seems like it.
Thank you for your comments. I think that ends our agenda item comments. Did I overlook anybody?
I signed up for 198 and 199.
We're not getting 2 bites at the apple, Corbett. You get 3 minutes. He gets 3 minutes.
It's a separate agenda item.
No.
It's a separate agenda item. Ask Mark.
Mark.
You get 3 minutes on a separate agenda item. Yes.
1 3-minute period.
1 3-minute period. You got your hand raised back there. And your name, please. Karen? Okay, Karen, you can come forward.
Jim just to come here and see you, Dave. Okay, commissioners, it saddens me that history is repeating itself and you are putting your greed over the responsibility of taking care of the health and money of the citizens of Franklin County. In Franklin County, commissioners approved to allow the Labadie Power Plant to be built and open in 1970. It's the second worst polluting power plant in the U.S., linked to about 4,000 deaths between 1999 and 2020. To find particulate matter from Labadie more than any other coal plant in 7 Midwestern states. The master plan. Have you read the master plan? It recognizes the rights of the citizens while addressing the statutory mandates conserving natural resources, ensuring efficient expenditure of public funds, and need to promote the health, safety, convenience, prosperity, and general welfare of the residents. Are you doing this? Is this what we like to see happen? I'm sure others would like to see this. Instead of going to your person to do your financial study on what we may or may not get, why don't you spend this money on environmental studies? The aquifer, the noise and the effects, the drain of the electrical grid, hazardous waste. How many extra employees will be required for the county to monitor these data centers? Dave, you keep saying that this doesn't matter, that we'll use county water. Seriously, where does county water come from? Wells. When the big well goes dry, what happens to all the little people with the little wells? They're out of water. The history of this county government has shown that they cannot or will not protect the health and citizens due to individuals polluting our county. Examples, the Labadie plant, landfills, abandoned cars left on property, developers using chemical waste for fill. It happens time and time again. It's clear to me that the last workshop, you didn't even take time to read the Springline proposal. The letter they sent, they are experienced in public benefits as negotiating tax incentives that has given money away to the developers. How is this a public benefit? You want to give them $25,000 to start the work on each center. These are developments with many centers. Are they going to want money for each building? My question to you, are you paying that money out of your own pockets or put it to a vote to the citizens? You should not be wasting our tax dollars. The developer should pay for these studies, not the citizens. You need to request a non-refundable deposit for the work that needs to be done for this so this project can be approved. You also need to demand a decommissioning bond to protect the taxpayers when they move on. Thank you. I have 2 minutes and 52 seconds and I'm done. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Again, I think that ends the public comments on the agenda items.
And I want my objection noted that Dave denied me the chance to speak on 2026-199 and Mark contact as well. I want that on the public record. If you have 2 separate items, Dave, on the agenda.
Corbett, that everyone could sign up. You could sign up for every commission order and talk for 3 minutes. That's not the way it works. That's just we basically are allowed 3. So you would talk for 33 minutes.
I signed up for 2 items, Dave, not 11.
Well, the way it works is you get 3 minutes, Corbett. That's just the way it works.
Amanda, I want it noted.
I haven't talked yet.
Can she yield her time?
What is no? What is your what?
Hey, you sit there and listen to what we have to say.
Rhonda?
Yeah, I think I'm on the second page.
Okay, Rhonda. You are on the sheet. Yes, Rhonda. You got come forward. Like I said, the agenda topics, we're following what was listed. And so if you didn't list agenda items, then you may have been overlooked. So,
Okay. Anyway, thank you. Good morning.
good morning.
You already know that the residents do not want a hyperscale data center. I attended the workshop the other day. I'm really trying to figure out why you would put the cart before the horse. It would seem that the best avenue is to do research around the implications of a hyperscale data center. I've been hoping you would do a 1-year moratorium so you could do your own research. Many of us have spoken at meetings, provided much information about the adverse effects of them. The effect on the aquifer, the land, the noise, air, light pollution, and more. And it seems like you've dismissed our information as not valid as you have not done your own research. I do not understand why you would commit to a financial study before doing research around the implications that would have adverse effects. In my mind, that should be a part of any study. I understand the company you have chosen, Springline Advisory, is well known in helping push hyperscale data centers through. Why would you commit to a huge amount of money for a study on the financial impacts without doing research about the implications first? I've already talked about Amazon paying out $20.5 million for pollution, and Elon Musk is being sued for a similar amount. I have talked about numerous things going on across the country. I'm sure you remember Aaron Brockovich of the PG&E scandal, where a type of chromium that was leached, that was harmful to humans, was leached into the water in Hinckley, California. Recently, there was an article, I noticed an article where during a commissioning, a contractor, Goat Systems LLC, performed a fill and flush of the data center's closed loop cooling pipes. The wastewater from that process was discharged into Cheyenne's sanitary sewer system. Now, I believe you're on well, so I think that might be a little bit different. But the wastewater contained a rare bacterium, I'm not going to say this right, Cuprea vitis gaillardi, which contaminated the city's water reclamation system. That contamination forced 2 municipal water reclamation plants offline for months while they were cleaned, and the city permanently changed its policies regarding the wastewater discharges. Anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
I also have the article here.
I believe that now ends the public comment on agenda items. Okay, that will come after the commission orders. The action items we have before us this morning is Commission Order 2026-189, the execution of the High Intensity Drug Tracking Area Program Grant Award for the Franklin County Sheriff's Department. That grant award is $137,500.
I make a motion we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 189.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-189. Next is Commission Order 2026-190. It's the execution of the memorandum of understanding with the Sheriff's Office and the Operation Relentless Pursuit Task Force for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
I'll make a motion we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You've approved 2026-190. Next is Commission Order 2026-191, is the acceptance of a grant for the impaired driving enforcement campaign for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. That grant award is to be $40,000.
Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 191.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-191. Next is Commission Order 2026-192, is the grant for the dedication impaired driving enforcement campaign for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
I'll make a motion we approve.
That's
$183,820.50.
I think it's over that, actually. Yeah. There's a total.
Yeah, where's the grant money coming from?
It's a return of your tax dollars that you're paying out to the state. So if you rather not get it back to Franklin County, I wouldn't understand why, but
Thanks for answering that. Thank you.
We have a first. Did I have a second? Did I get a second?
I think the amount was
$183,820.50.
Mine says 382 total. This is different.
On
Oh,
180,
yeah.
192.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-192. Next is Commission Order 2026-193. This is the grant application for the hazardous moving vehicle enforcement campaign for the Sheriff's Office, which is the grant is in the amount of $44,000.
I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved Commission Order 2026-193. Next is Commission Order 226194, the acceptance of a grant for the Youth Alcohol Enforcement Campaign for the Sheriff's Office.
I make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 194.
I'll second that.
$9,800.
44,000.
194. $9,800 bucks.
Oh, I'm sorry. 9,800.
$9,800. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-194. Next is Commission Order 2026-195. And this is the quote from A&W Communications to purchase the replacement recorder for the 911 communications.
I make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 195.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-195. Next is Commission Order 2026-196, is the settlement of the Franklin County Treasurer with the Franklin County Commission.
Make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 196.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved the Commission Order 2026-196. It is a summary of the settlement of all funds in the county court. So it's available for you if you want to see what that report is worth. Next is Commission Order 2026-197 in the rezoning request being submitted by Mountie Excavation, file number 260053. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we deny Commission Order 2026, TAC 197.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion carries. The application for rezone.
Did that motion pass or fail? It failed. It did not go through. Did not through, okay.
Next is Commission Order 2026-198 is the Spring Line Advisory, as this also is provided for Franklin County services, consulting services.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You've approved 2026-198.
We'll remember it, guys. We'll remember it. Just keep
Next is Commission Order 2026-199. Authorizing.
I make a motion, we approve Commission Order 2026, TAC 199.
I was just wondering if I could make a comment on this to possibly request to table this so we could discuss further the funding opportunities that were provided to me.
We haven't asked for comments from elected officials yet.
This is about this action item. It's regarding funding
Did you sign
for
up
this
on the
contract.
list?
Excuse me? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear what you said.
Did
you mean an office that's currently under investigation by the FBI and the Sheriff's Department?
For what? Okay, so my concern is I do know that Dave, you provided me with the funding and which I had provided you with the opportunity
Sure.
of what was available. My concern is that there are some open-ended terms in the contract, so I didn't know if it was a possibility to possibly add verbiage in there to possibly review the agreement once we've hit that cap of 60 hours to look at what other funding opportunities would be available. The funds that I provided you that are available, that you requested, there's only a limited amount. So once we reach that, what would be that next funding option? That is my question. So
You'll have to reevaluate at that point, either continue on or find a source for the fund.
okay. So I guess I'll just take this opportunity to ask the next question. In the engagement limitations, there is a provision in there that just says the county attorney will services, they will work with the vendor or the contractor. So my question is, will those services and billable time, will those also be billed to the funding source that was provided? Will that be a separate?
I don't think that function is anything outside of what the council would be doing any other time.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because there are oftentimes in specific services that we do bill those to other places, other funding sources.
Sure.
So I just wanted to clarify that. So we are going to revisit this once that 60 hours is capped for those funding.
That would be correct.
Okay, so what that would look like is the commission order would be certified up to a certain dollar amount, just so you're aware.
Mark?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were correct.
Well, not necessarily you, just in general. Okay. Ken, if you'd like to talk any more about the accusations you made, I really appreciate that because that was,
That's a two-way street, right? You could have come to our office and talked to us if you had some concerns, but no, you chose to grab a platform and
I
try and-
actually discussed this with you in the workshop. I have emailed, I have requested responses.
Oh, he didn't respond.
and
Mr. Schatz did respond to me. So
and
that's
there
why I was
was
just
a
trying to clarify
response.
this.
there was a response. from
And
the
there
commissioner.
in that process, once you approve a commission order, it is my responsibility to certify those funds are available. Because this is open-ended,
I think those funds were pointed out, weren't they, in the Brush Creek?
like I said, this is open-ended. This can exceed the amount that is available. That's why I wanted to
Is it
concern-
dedicating us to that cost right now? No. It's an extenuation of a contract. So if it initially
When you
says
sign a contract,
this
you're
is a
entering
cost,
into that
I listen to
requirement.
you, now you listen to me. This is our chamber. So it's saying it's $25,000 for one, 25,000 for the other. If things run over, which we will control, then it's an additional funding.
Okay.
Our tax money. Yeah, our tax money. What fund is it coming from? It's nice to spend money that's not yours.
Brush Creek.
Your
That's my
chamber,
understanding.
your chamber, you said our chamber is your three chamber?
It belongs to the.
It's not the auditor's chamber. This is, if you look above the door, it's a court.
Thank you.
I'm a citizen also.
You're a joke.
Well, I guess I like to see where the crumbling roads you're talking about also are at.
Let's get back to the business at hand here. Obviously, we have Commission Order 2026199. Do we have a first
I made a motion.
and a second?
Second. I already made
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
So you had all pinned this before you came here.
They just wasted our day.
Motion carries.
They had it all planned before they got here. They can ask that all. Can't believe you took all 4 days.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
We have few other items here.
There's a motion on the floor.
What's that?
He made a motion to adjourn. But
How do you guys think of taking time out of our day to come speak to you as money? You're getting paid to sit there, we're not.
He's thinking the application that this is in the evening.
Jen, did you make a motion?
Wait, not Festus?
I did.
Maybe on the table. That's.
We've got to go through public comment, Jeff.
I can't.
We've got to go through the public comments. The last item on the agenda.
I thought we heard you got more public comments on there.
do what?
You have more sign. I thought we did the public comments.
We did, but there's sign up for non-agenda items.
Okay. I thought we already went through all of them.
No.
Let's-
We will now go to public comments on non-agenda items.
I withdraw my motion.
First being Jennifer Moody.
Hello again, and I know you feel the disappointment and anger in this room. And I want to talk about, obviously, no on the data centers, and that's what I signed up to talk about. But I also would like to talk about the process of transparency with the people. We had a whole bunch of agenda items that we didn't understand about these grants, and there was some information. What you have is a group of citizenry that, because of the data center issue, has become engaged, and we want to engage with you. Not I don't want to be here and be angry with you. I want to have conversations. I want to feel listened to, as I know all of these people do as well. And that hasn't happened. We haven't had our town halls that you promised us months ago. Yes, and I really appreciate the efforts that Paul Overschmidt, and I know Dave Schatz has been visiting people. I appreciate those efforts, but we would like some more transparency and understanding what's going on, and to feel like you are not just making rash decisions and then about this contract where it seems like the people who are representing us in the county don't fully understand it. There was not an agreement on that. Why couldn't you table it for a week and understand what's going on to make sure you all in the county are on the same page? And I did not like what I saw here with my county officials going at each other. So anyways, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. John Rose.
First off, I'm against the data centers. These monstrosities are destroying life and eventually our economy. When this tech bubble bursts, there will be very few permanent jobs created and more will be lost by AI. Dave, you campaign on safety first. What about the safety of we, the people of Franklin County? We have multiple schools, homes, farmlands within very close proximity of these two proposed data centers. Facts supplied show the hazards to people, wildlife, and water. You have very much data to review. Finding the $50,000 for attack studies on the possibilities is horrendous, and you should be doing health and environmental studies like done on a bridge previously built in Franklin County. Make the correct decision for the people. A new poll shows that 71% of Americans in the United States do not approve of data centers. Do not be pressured by your political figures from above. No data center on earth is worth losing bees, clean water, and our health and forests. Please do not allow development of hyper data centers in our beautiful rural backyards. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Darlene.
I've shortened my speech. So nothing I say can be added to the thousands of printed evidences already submitted to each of you and the many personal testimonies regarding these two hyperscale data centers with their dangers and health issues. It's obvious you don't care. You don't care how much money, our money that you spend on wasteful studies, not the studies that we are asking and requesting for. You all seem like you sit there and you're like the three monkeys. Hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Twyla Ashworth.
People who have been living next to these data centers are now speaking out about the constant noise from the cooling fans, smell of diesel fuel in the air from the diesel generators, lack of water or dirty water coming out of faucets or no water at all, water rationing while the data centers have no water restrictions placed on them, toxins being emitted into the air, lithium battery fires, children having seizures who had no seizures before, and higher cancer rates of people living near multitudes of data centers. Farmers are seeing the impact on their livestock with dead births, not live births. These people are being impacted and they are not lying. It's time to stop ignoring the evidence. Our environment is being impacted and yet our officials are approving these hyperscale multi-building complexes with reckless abandon. Our aquifers cannot handle this amount of water usage on a daily basis. We will become like the western states with not enough water for their residents. It was reported last night on the national news that Lake Mead and Lake Powell are now at 30% capacity. 30%. That is a 70% loss of water. The Colorado River does not have enough water to supply the 7 western states it has provided water for in the past. All of these signs are warning signs. Our environment is being stressed and it's telling us to stop. Believe the people who are now being impacted by the ill effects of data centers and are speaking out. Listen to the people whose future lives are going to be impacted and yours as well. vote no on these data centers. And I'd like to add one last comment that's not on here. I think it's a little disgusting when commissioners do not respect the fellow employees in this building. I just find it appalling.
Thank you for your comments. Nancy Watson.
Commissioners, you know, I always write my speeches and I bring you copies. I've done that since February. Today, I did not write a speech because I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. On items J and K, I honestly felt that if I, as did many others, came before you today with our questions about the contract and the engagement letter, I honestly felt if we came before you and we spoke to you, that you would at least give us the courtesy of answering our questions, having a discussion up there in front of us, and telling us what went into your making the decisions that you have just made. I had that hope and expectation. I have asked you, and two of you have agreed. Just come out and see one piece of property which borders the Beltline Data Center. We live next door to Bill McLaren. I have asked you, I can name names, but I'm not going to do that. But you know who you are. You have told me, and you have told other members of my family that you will come. You can go to Loudoun County, and you can go to Altoona, but you can't go down the road and look at a piece of property that we have asked you to come see. Ann and Jeff Hayden back here have asked you to come see where they live so you can understand what it feels like to have the prospect of data centers in your backyard. We know what that's like. We have suffered months of anxiety, sleepless nights, inability to eat, our lives just being threatened by these data centers, and yet they go forward. My neighbor, Bill Rombach, has 5 small children. He also is on the west side of the data center, and he has asked you to come see his farm. He has a real farm, okay? My sister-in-law, Kathy Reisenhoover, has asked you to come see her property. Yeah, we do have a bit of land out there. It's owned by 4 family members. I don't need to talk about how big it is. It's not as big as Bill's, but it's a pretty big piece of property. And we have a lake, and one of those retention ponds is sitting right on the end of our lake, okay? Our property is terribly at risk, as are the rest of these people,
Nancy,
no matter how far away they live. So I would like to know how you can rescind your approval on J and K. I would like to know what the legal procedure is for that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Nancy. Rhonda Brackett.
Hello.
Oh.
I want to say that I'm really, I spoke earlier. You guys know how I feel. There's a lot going on. That much money to be spent on that without the environmental issues around it, it makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm really disappointed that you would even consider doing a financial thing without looking at all the implications. Stuff's going on all across the country, everywhere. There are states that are banning them. There are states that are, putting moratoriums on them because they're finding out about all the bad implications. And I don't understand why you are not listening to the people. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Karen Boost.
I got to speak before. I didn't think I got to get to speak again. But you know, this will be short. I really think that how you live and how you vote has a great impact on us, and we want you to do the right thing. And I just don't feel like my time is of any value to you because you guys don't listen anyway. You won't speak to us. You have nothing to say to us, and it's very discouraging. And I just wish you'd look at how you're really acting. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Thomas Crouch.
Well, good afternoon again. I'm going to go over the data center stuff, specifically energy requirements, things like that. Do you guys know what we currently are under, along with 17 other states? You know what level it is? Level 2, right? You know, which means whatever, reduce as much as you can, vice versa. We hit a level 3, that's rolling blackouts. Now, who in their right minds thinks that adding another 1,600 megawatts of usage to this current grid is a wonderful ideal? You know, rolling blackouts, it will affect the health and safety of people, especially our seniors and our vulnerable. You know, freezing temperatures, hot days. Pretty sure the sheriff's department's going to have a field day on that along with the coroner's office. So that and the plant and lab, I mean, that thing's scheduled to be decommissioned in 2032, 2036. I know, maybe sooner, maybe a little bit later. I know either which way, it's already over capacity. So let's go back to 198 again. Yeah. So we're going to just decide to go ahead and pay the Fox to guard our hen house. Like, we really need to get another non-biased bid. Specifically, something that ain't through a sub company that is dealt up by private equity investors from Dallas. Not really happy with that decision, but I don't think anyone else is. But whatever, it's only $50,000. That's a drop in the bucket. We can't use that anywhere else, I'm sure. I'm gonna just close. Necessity has no law, but I know some attorneys of the name.
Kevin Ryan.
I wanted to read some news to you. I was going to say good morning, but it didn't turn out that good. Anybody here have a light flicker last Wednesday about 8 o'clock in the morning? Did you? Do you know why? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is a very interesting article. This is from NBC Washington News. Last Wednesday, here's the opening line. This is what experts worried about, right? Data centers are such a big load on the grid that they can have a detrimental impact on the surrounding grid. Just before 8 a.m. Wednesday, electricity flickered on and off for about 10 minutes. And engineers' data said it happened throughout the eastern half of the United States, from Chicago to Boston and Miami. And it goes on to say, just before 8 a.m. Wednesday, an engineer's data says it happened throughout the eastern half of the United States. He ties the problem to the data center alley in Ashburn, Virginia, and says seemingly small blip is a sign our infrastructure is in danger. Experts say cracks in our infrastructure grid are starting to show as the data center industry consumes electricity at a rate the world has never experienced. On Wednesday, a crack became visible to millions of Americans in their homes and businesses. This is what experts are worried about, right? The data centers are such a big load on the grid that they can have a detrimental impact on the surrounding grid. There's a company that sells a device to plug into your wall to monitor your home's electricity and alert you if something's awry to try to prevent an electrical fire. You plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi, it takes 30 million electric measurements every second. With millions of these devices in homes across the U.S., Marshall's data collection saw something he flagged as a concern. At 7:56 a.m. last Wednesday, electricity throughout the eastern half of the U.S. dropped, spiked, and then leveled off. Marshall said it happened a few more times over the next 10 minutes. This one event, serving either one building or whatever the data center complex is, impacted the entire region here. This is what experts are worried about. So we all know how stable our grid is here. I've had a couple of power outages in the last few weeks myself. So with the data centers coming, I think you need to reevaluate.
Thank you
what's
for your
going on.
comments. Your time's expired. Linda Carr.
Okay, the projected tax model by Steve Etcher was given to Festus and it was a joke. Okay, and they said that it was wasted money. We didn't even include what you have here. The way I heard it Thursday, you didn't even have the environmental impact study included in this contract from him. Okay, which is used for the purposes which should have been the most important thing you start with. Okay, I know in my heart you're dragging your feet because you know that the EIS will show the environmental disaster of the surrounding communities and Pacific. There has been lies, deceit, your lack of transparency, misuse of taxpayers' money, like today, on and on and on. You're not going to make money by destroying our communities, towns, our lives, our health, our schools, our environments, our livelihoods, because we're the one that's paying the taxes. So if we get destroyed, we're ruined, we move, schools go down. With the Coleman Elementary School, what are they going to do when they don't have clean water, when they don't have electricity, and electricity goes down? You don't care. All you care about, money. That's all you care about. Okay, where's it coming from? Okay, we don't really know. In 2 or 3 years, you're going to have the tenant might move in when this is get ready to go. Okay, and then you're going to find out what kind of money they're going to give. Then what's that money going to do? If it comes in, when it comes in, just city general fund. They don't know how to cut spending. They spend, and they don't know how to cut the budget. So what's going to happen? They're going to give us what? How much percent? Contradict me if I'm wrong. Was it 1% they're going to give us? 1%? Let's see, let's divvy that out. Oh, that's right. You said you wanted to spread the wealth all over the county while 2 townships are going to be destroyed. And yet we're sitting down there destroyed, and it's okay, we're going to divvy it out to everybody. Something's not right. You know, Paul said that we're Christians, meaning Christ-like. Okay, and we're known by our fruits. And you know what those are? Do you remember what those are, Dave? You know what they are? The fruits of the Spirit in Galatians 5.
I can name all 7 of them.
Love, joy,
9 of them, if you want me to.
Good. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, good. Well, you know what? Faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, all this. At this point, commissioners and lawyer, we only see rotting fruit here. That's all we're seeing. God will supply our needs if we turn this down. He'll see to it that we have our needs met. Nothing's impossible with God. He's bigger than all this. He's bigger than you. He's bigger than this chamber of yours that you claim. Okay, are you so proud and haughty you can't work with us and get some advice from the people who are going to be affected by this evil tragedy? Please. Your social media comments that we don't understand and AI will be it's going to benefit the community. Tell me where it's going to benefit. Please tell me. Tell all of us. Money? It's the root of all evil. Is this all? It's about money? Everything's been about money. Do you realize the Union and Washington people here, they can see through your lies and antics. You may have a few friends here and there, but I'm telling you, they see it. And the people in this county have no faith and trust in you anymore, fulfilling your responsibilities as commissioners anymore. Please, work with us, rescind that. Stop, don't spend our money foolishly, please. We're the ones who's working
Thank
hard
you,
for it.
Linda. Your time has expired. Dana Barrows.
Oh, I also put back here the rezoning. There's laws about rezoning. Put it somewhere else, but not in our communities.
It's spot zoning, they know it. It's okay.
Data center regulations. I have some more for you to add to your so-called regulations that you have drawn up now that you had the developers draw up. We're employed by our Constitution to criticize our government. Y'all are getting paid over $250,000, not including what benefits you get down the road with health benefits, long-term retirement, all that good stuff, to sit here with our tax dollars. We pay taxes. You get a check because of that. You work for us. Where have you lost sight of this? We all sat here, multiple comments on social media sites and on the Washington Missourian Post. Everyone said no to 198 and 199. You're blatantly ignoring your job duties. It's a good thing there's an elevator in this building, because I really honestly believe y'all would trip up the steps as you come into this building anymore. The flyers and the campaign materials, the lies, the deceit, the manipulation, protect that. Really, Dave Schatz, put our safety first. How are you putting our safety first? By doing what we have told you not to do. If you want to spend $50,000 of our money, why not pay the $50,000 to put it on a ballot so that y'all can get your answer to your question of, so how many people in this community are really against it and really for it? Why? You are the most hypocritical Christian I've ever met in my life, Dave Schatz. Yeah. You could have changed that contract. You could rescind this and you could actually add to that contract. You could add a funding agreement to this. You could force the developers to pay that $50,000. There are changes to that contract you could have made. Mark, you don't need to bang your gavel. I know when my 3 minutes is up.
You're not done. You got 30 more seconds if you'd like to continue.
Well, here. Oh, actually, since I do, I brought this for you because this is a bunch of people that live in this community fighting to protect our tax dollars. Lies. These are all signed by local citizens, and they wrote return to sender on them. Lies, lies. Conservative leadership, bullshit, Dave. Straight bullshit.
Now your time's expired.
Oh, this is all return to sender. No one
Janine Kreider.
elected you. No one's going to re-elect somebody that wasn't elected to begin with.
He's gone next week, folks. He's gone next week.
August 4th, people. Woo! Get him the hell out of here.
This last Sunday, we went to Aurora, Illinois, to actually talk to the people who are living next to the data center. I'm not going to tell the details and waste my 3 minutes on that because there's about 5 interviews on the news stations from Aurora for the pending lawsuits that they are going to be suing over. Well, hold on. Now this is just hell. Okay. Oh, shit. It won't work. I can't make it work. Anyway, the noise was so loud that people could not hear us. I don't know why the voice. Get it on silent. Get it off silent. Hold on. Okay.
So, the construction, like I said, wasn't a big deal. Really, the big problem occurred about April of last year.
Okay.
So they.
Shit. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I apologize. This is
A power event where they were forced to start running their backup generators. At that time, noise levels kicked up to like 85, 90 decibels.
Wow.
It was like 72 hours constant.
Oh.
It was, their backup generators are like the size of a freight train.
Yes. Okay, so you know what that sounds like now. And then I went with two other people, two other concerned citizens, both engineers. One was taking some measurements of the EMFs in his yard. I did not know that she was doing that. And she informed him that the EMFs in his yard were at dangerous levels. Now, I love AI. AI is really great. In fact, I talk to it sometimes. I was talking to it and I asked the question, what is the safest siting for hyperscales for humans and animals? And it said, there isn't a safest place on earth because of the health risks that come from several pathways, especially air pollution from electricity and backup generators, water scarcity, cooling withdrawals, noise, light at night, and land use and ecosystem disruption. The safest siting approach is therefore to choose regions and sites that minimize those specific exposures and those specific exposures that require that, and they do require design and operation controls. I envision Mike Kehoe ringing that phone. You guys, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. We've got everything under control. You must pass this no matter what. Don't forget about what I promised you. Do not forget about everything that you agreed to do for me.
Emily Duker.
There's a better place for these things. There is. It's called industrial court.
Emily Duker?
I did it already.
Okay, thank you. Amy Thompson. Nope, that was wrong. She spoke on Springline. Patty Gibson.
I agree with everything that's been said today, and I am totally against data centers. I don't know why you guys, we pay you. We're taxpayers. We're the boss of you, and we say, no, we don't want them, but you don't listen. Nobody listens. We voted for you. Well, Schatz, we didn't vote for you because the governor appointed you. And now he's pulling your strings and everybody else's strings. He gets into office and he says, come on, data centers, Missouri, we're welcoming you. But did he ask any of the people who live here whether they want them? No, we don't. We don't want them. And I don't understand why you can't hear it. Is your greed so much that you getting some kind of kickback or money from this that you don't care what we said? Or is Keyhole pushing your buttons? Whatever it is, you are going to be out of here the next time you're up for vote because we are not going to have you, any of you anymore. We want people who listen to us, who care about us. You do not care about the citizens.
Corbett.
Commissioners, a campaign mailer from Dave Schatz. Quote, we can trust Dave Schatz to put our safety first. Back the blue. Sounds great, yes? Well, let's measure that promise against what's happening in Franklin County. Dave, where is safety first when this county has 11 inactive or closed landfills, including the Generally landfill, where residents like Jim Roberts have repeatedly warned this commission about toxic contamination? Where is safety first when you decided today to spend $50,000 studying the tax benefits of data centers, but not one thin dime to study groundwater, air quality, emergency response, or public health? You've magically found money for a useless consultant, but no money for public safety. And when citizens demanded answers about their safety, what did you do? You shut down public comment. You warned citizens that law enforcement would remove anyone who didn't surrender to your ridiculous, arbitrary demands on their behavior. That's not leadership, sir. That's intimidation. And that certainly is not backing the blue. That's attempting to use our sworn men and women in uniform, like this gentleman seated here to my left, to suppress our God-given right of freedom of speech. I am grateful that the county sheriff's department has refused such tyranny, Ken, as your attempt to have people removed. Thank you, Sheriff Pelton. A government that believes in its decisions doesn't silence its citizens, it answers them. Now you're asking us to trust you with AI data centers that bring high-voltage electrical systems, industrial battery storage, and new risks for firefighters and first responders. Are you serious? Where is the emergency plan, the hazardous materials assessment, the independent environmental review? Instead, this commission is spending $50,000 on potential tax revenue study. Dave, trust isn't earned by your stupid campaign mailers that people are sending back left and right. It's earned through transparency, by listening to your constituents and by putting families ahead of developers. You, sir, have failed on all of these points. If Franklin County truly comes first, then prove it today, here, now. Commission an independent environmental review. Hold town halls with the developers, as I've asked for months. Let the people vote on data centers. Oh, I'm sorry, that's too expensive, but let's piss away 50 grand today. And by the way, no investigation of the inactive landfills. Instead, can you call them children and childish? Sir, this isn't your chamber. This is our chamber. Dave, you were controversially appointed to this office, and now you're asking the public to trust you with it again? That's laughable. And unfortunately, your record of failures speaks for itself. And come next Tuesday, August 4th, the people, not your puppet master governor, are going to decide your future. And your replacement is sitting right here in this room. And I can't thank God enough for it. We've had enough. And Mr. Overschmidt and Mr. Cox, you guys are next. And we don't even have just one remedy as a ballot box. There's other
Thank
remedies.
you, Corbett.
We're going to explore.
Your time has
Thank
expired.
You, Corbett. Sit down, shut up. Your time's expired. Thanks, Dave.
Jenny Voss.
March 1st, 2026, Iranian drone strike Amazon Web Service data center in United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. April 1st, 2026, additional strike to Amazon data center in Bahrain. July 21st to 24th, 2026, Iran uses cruise missiles to heavily damage and destroy centralized Amazon Web Service hubs in Bahrain. Now, why in the world would they be wanting to get rid of the Amazon Web Services? Do they not want to deliver Amazon packages or watch Prime videos? Or are these surveillance purposes? These drones only cost $20,000 to $50,000 to produce and can be produced in just a few days. Could our county now be the next target during war if you decide to go through these proposals? About 6 months ago, Eastern Franklin County got a punch in the gut when we found out that Diamonds Farms was looking to rezone to become a hyperscale data center. Less than a week later, we got punched in the face when we found out that the Crooked Creek was looking to be rezoned to become a hyperscale data center. What has transpired in the past 6 months has literally turned our lives upside down. Many of us have spent so much time, energy, and money trying to save our way of life, and most importantly, the area which we have lived and loved for a very long time, for us and all of our neighbors. Many people have taken off work to be at meetings, have spent endless hours researching and collaborating with each other instead of spending time with their families. And we have spent enormous amount of money printing articles, gas for our vehicles to get here, and we all love that gas tax. But we show up and we still fight. Because when you truly believe in something, you don't back down. 6 months ago, I didn't know most of these people. We've come from many different backgrounds, and one of the unexpected gifts of this fight has been realizing the depth of knowledge our neighbors have. We have many experts among us in fields I never would have expected. But because of these two hyperscale data centers, we have come together and used our own talents to fight this, and we can now say we have created lifelong friendships. We would do anything for these people, and now we call our friends. We have each other's backs. We don't know where this fight is headed. We pray that you are given the courage to vote no on all things associated with the hyperscale data center. And if you do, we will have your backs too. Over 6 months ago, we got punched in the gut and then punched in the face, but we didn't get knocked down. We got up, and it made us stronger. Please listen to the people. We are tired of being punched in the face like we were today. We care about our neighbors, our welfare, health, and safety. We only hope you care about ours as well.
Jenny, thank you for your comments. Your time has expired. Are there any elected official or department reports? You didn't sign up to speak on non-agenda items.
So you give us 3 minutes to talk on 11 different items?
That is,
Non-agenda items.
that is the process.
That's your process.
Travis?
3 minutes per agenda item, Dave.
No.
No.
Travis?
But at least they give 5 minutes to their people.
Travis, you did sign up. No, you did sign up for Power Grid.
All right, I'll try to be quick. I have here today something that was issued by the Department of Energy. You can find it on DOE.gov. It was, it's important enough. I printed 3 copies, one for each of you. I really hope you take a chance to look at it. On July 20, let me start back. On July 19th, they issued basically an advisory warning about the load on the grid, okay, because of the heat. And then 2 days ago on July 26th, they upgraded that to we're in an emergency state now. There's 17 states that are listed in this as part of this emergency for the grid strain, okay? Why are we talking about, why is any state entertaining these data centers with this massive load on the grid? It's when people are having rolling blackouts, they cause brownouts. I can tell you what brownouts do. Any type of compressor, it'll fry them. Your refrigerators, your air conditioners, they can't handle when that voltage drops below the expected amount. It'll fry them. It's causing people problems. The rolling blackouts are causing people to really have heat stress and go to the hospital. Here's what I really want to focus on. During the 13-hour meeting, and I was talking about closed loop control systems or the water savior, okay? And the Provident guy, when they got back up after we spoke, gave a rebuttal from one of my comments on the closed loop cooling that acts like the radiator in your car, but when it's 100 degrees out, you can't blow 100-degree air on these computers and cool them. Okay, that's not a realistic cooling system here where it gets hot in the summer. His rebuttal was, well, when those days happen, they augmented the cooling because he agreed that 100-degree air isn't going to cool their computers. The closed loop cooling in itself, because it uses all these fans to draw this air in, means it uses a lot more power than a data center that uses the evaporative cooling and uses a ton of water. Okay, so the augmented means adding more chillers, compressors, pumps, fans. So again, it's way more power use. So the closed loop, that's the savior of the water, needs more power. So you're just trading off, stressing out your aquifers and your water systems for stressing out your grid. So those closed loop ones use even way more power. And also the power plants need a ton of cooling water to keep their steam turbines cold. So you're not saving water. You're just using it somewhere else. Thanks.
Thank you, Travis, for your comments. Elected officials. Departmental reports. Further discussion from the commission.
Nope.
No.
Comments.
Why don't you let Jeff speak?
Who?
Let Jeff speak. He wants to speak.
Jeff, obviously, yes, you come speak, but again, you didn't sign up, but come on forward.
Thanks, Dave. I don't want to take a lot of your time because I'm going to go back to what I said originally. We pledge allegiance to that flag and to the republic. That's who we are. And we talked to you about this spring line and the data centers, and you're not listening. Way more of us have spoken about these things than the 3 of you are. And yet, you proceed with it. That's BS from start to finish.
Thank you, Jeff, for your comments.
On purpose from my job so I could speak. So
Just sign up next time. I mean, obviously we have a process. Just sign up the way we ask you to, and I wouldn't overlook it. So
Great. Okay, so my comment is I still haven't gotten anything about the NDA being expired
Mark,
or anything.
we will comment on the NDA. Obviously, it was terminated. You know the date. I don't have the date off the top of my head. Yes.
I would like a copy of that. I emailed you, got a return receipt. Nothing was clicked on.
I will get a copy of the, I don't know what we have of the termination, but we terminated the agreement in April.
Well, you'd have to have that in writing for it to really exist now, wouldn't you? If it's a contract.
There was an email. There was an email from Beltline's counsel agreeing that the NDA was terminated.
Forwarded.
I would like to see that.
I'm sure you can have a copy of it.
So my comment is, are you making permanent decisions based on temporary technology? I mean, think about it. Servers, buildings, the technology, it's all going to be obsolete in the blink of an eye, but the land will remain. Are you respecting the master plan of Franklin County? No. Are you safeguarding its residents? Are you blinded by the phantom unicorn tax revenue pitched by the data center salespeople? Land is not just a line on a map. Land is our history. It's our legacy. It's our home. So I have a simple question for you. What are you willing to preserve? What line will you not cross?
Your property line?
What line will you not cross for the promise of money? If tax revenues are all that matters, then the master plan for Franklin County is not a plan, but merely a suggestion. A suggestion to set aside if the protected revenue is large enough. Is that true or false? No answer. So I'd like to say, don't kill the hellbender salamander. It's been here 150 million years. We won't be here that long, not with data centers. What right do you have to destroy their habitat? They live here. We're trying to live here. What human studies are you going to pay for? Environmental studies, water usage studies. You work for us. We should be your priority. And I still haven't heard from any one of you saying you'd come visit my property, as Nancy said. Thank you.
Thank you. And your time's expired. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.
What does AI say about keeping, we're putting AI away? Is it going to keep us safe? There's no place that's safe. And yet you want them here. All for the money.
Fractions of men. Fractions. Just fractions.
Number Tuesday, folks. Tuesday.
Next Tuesday due to election day? Are you canceling the commission meeting for next Tuesday? Because it's election day? What about all the people that are working the polls that can't be here?
As far as I know, we've only canceled it on a general election, so we've not canceled for primary elections. At this point, I don't think there's any plans to cancel on Tuesday.
Do you want your mailers back? Everybody signed them and wrote return to sender on them for you. These are all residents. Yeah.